Want to be heard on the Nonstop Radio Show? Send us your submissions in MP3 format at Let's Network Musically 212 at gmail.com.
This is Nonstop Radio.
So many struggling, living on the streets, with no food to eat, no shoes on their feet. They blame the government for this poverty. How could this be happening? If we want change in this world today.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Once again, it's your boy EMillio, EgBar, and I want to say thank you to each of you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us once again. And here tonight, we got another dope individual that's going to be joining us here as a special guest. And calling all the way from Columbia, South Carolina, ladies and gentlemen, I have on the line with us Panessia Young. Miss Young, how are you? And welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
I am doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, despite the situation with the storm and everything like that in our area. Life is good. Everything is good. How about yourself?
I must say, everything is going great.
No doubt about that. Well, once again, I want to say thank you for joining us here today. We do appreciate you taking the time out to come and chop it up with us. And normally at the beginning, I like to give this time to our guests to sort of tell the audience a little bit about themselves. So with that being said, the floor is all yours.
Hello, everyone. I want to say, first of all, thank you for having me on your show. My name is Panessia Young. I am a singer-songwriter. I have been singing ever since I was little. Mom inspired me to, keep it going and just never give up on my dreams. I got really serious when I graduated out of high school and took some time out to do some research on some musical, things of what needed to be done to get myself known out here. And so 2008, I completed my very first self-titled album called Panessia. It had 10 songs on it. And so I pretty much been grinding ever since then. Here it is, 2024. And to do a little backtracking, February 16th, I opened up here in Columbia, South Carolina this year for T.I. and Tamar Braxton at the Township Auditorium. And that was such a very exciting, it was a moment wow, when I hit the stage to open up the concert for them. So I also did some other shows for our sung some songs in the presence of Angie Stone. October 2015. It was a tribute to her at C.A. Johnson Auditorium. And me and some other artists, we sung some of her songs while she was in the audience. So I pretty much have been getting out here, grinding, working hard to be, so people can know who Panessia Young is. And I also love to collaborate with other artists as well. So I can be found Panessia Young on Facebook, Panessia, and ChinaDoll_1 on Instagram. So I pretty much stay working. I have a total of 3 albums. So I pretty much, I'm still working, still grinding.
Absolutely. And with that being said, you started 2008, you released your self-titled debut album, Panessia, which is available now on all streaming platforms. And you're 3 albums in. So from 2008 to 2024, how has the journey in this career of music been for you?
I must say it has been challenging at times, but it's a great thing because I have been thinking of new creations. I have to stay busy. I can't get lazy and just say, oh, well, my name is out there. It's time to just sit back and relax. No, I got to stay working. I got to stay motivated. My dad, he's my inspiration as well. He passed back in 2022, and he was super supportive of my music. So my dad is my big time inspiration to keep his memory alive of how he was so supportive of my music. So with that being said, he also always told me as well never to give up on my dreams. So that's the inspiration.
Well, I want to, extend my condolences to you and your family on the loss of your father. I know it's tough, dealing with the loss of anybody in your family, but to lose a parent is definitely something that I know, I've seen a lot of friends here lately lose friends and family members, especially their parents. So, my condolences to you on behalf of this show and all that. And with that being said,
Thank you.
You're absolutely welcome. And with that being said, what you mentioned earlier in the beginning of this interview that you had the chance to open for T.I. Was you nervous when you had that opportunity, or being that you had the opportunity to work with so many prominent figures within the music industry, it kind of helped you to get ready for that moment? How did it make you feel to open up for T.I.?
Let me tell you my experience. First off, I was in the audition. I was entered into the audition, and it was 50 other artists. And it was so exciting, but I was thinking to myself, I was like, I would be happy for whoever won, but I wasn't thinking I was gonna, get called out, and next thing I know, they called my name and said I was the winner. So my heart was beating seriously. Like, wow, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe my name got called as the winner for the audition to open up for T.I. and Tamar. So when that night finally came, when I tell you, I was super ready. Even for the sound check, they had me come out for the sound check. I was so excited. It was like the happiest moment of my life to hit that stage. And, that's like one of the biggest stages I ever been on, so it was like, this is your moment. Give it all you got, So I was so happy about the responses that I had gotten after I had performed that night and opened up for T.I. and Tamar. It was like, I just felt like I was just sitting on top of the world.
Did you get a chance to meet them any? Did you get a chance to, conversate with them and take pictures and all that stuff?
Unfortunately, the way security was that night, I did not get a chance, but I was told that they heard me loud and clear. So yeah, so it was a security thing. They pretty much, I didn't get a chance to get pictures. I didn't get a chance to have a talk with them or anything, but I'm being optimistic about it because who knows what the future holds.
Right. True. And just the simple fact that you had the chance, to be on stage, to open up for them, and even just be in the same vicinity as them, that's definitely going to be something that's going to be the highlight of, one of the highlights of your career, And then also, like you said, it was sold to you that they had the chance to hear you. Then I'm pretty sure, somebody's going to be picking up that phone to reach out to you real soon. So with that being said, given the fact that you said that you was ready the moment you hit that stage, can you tell the audience out there, especially the younger listeners that happen to be aspiring artists and musicians that is listening right now, the importance of staying ready, especially in an industry like the music business, because your one opportunity can come right there at the drop of a hat, and if you're not ready, then you can miss your one shot to get in. So can you please, just let them know how important it is just to remain focused and remain ready for when that time your number is called?
I just want to say to the up-and-coming artists out here today, first off, believe in yourself, along with staying focused. And don't be afraid to step out and do something different that's going to benefit you. Like, you just never know. You could say no to an opportunity, and that could be that door that can open for you. You just got to just stay prepared. You don't know who may be in the building when you're performing somewhere, and they might hear you and be interested and say, I want to get your contact. I want to get your number, your contact information. And that's another thing. I have some QR cards where you can scan my music. You can scan the card and my music can pop up, and you'll be able to hear my different albums and things like that. It's important to stay ready with business cards. It's just, you can't lose staying focused and being ready. You just can't lose.
Absolutely. And to me, I can honestly, agree with you on that note, because there's been plenty of opportunities that I've missed just because of the fact that I wasn't prepared or wasn't ready. So when it comes to preparation and when I go to do anything, I always make sure I prepare to the max. So that way, when it's time for me to get up there and do what I have to do, or to, capitalize on the opportunity, that is, I'm not underprepared or I'm not ready for the situation. We got a lot of people out there now. You just happen to wonder where they would be right now if they would have just listened the moment that opportunity came knocking. Do you agree?
I truly agree. I really do, because I'm going to just say this quick thing. I didn't, enter myself into it. My manager entered me into the contest. And so it was a blessing, because I could have missed the opportunity, not entering myself into it, and I want to say one more thing too. It's also on YouTube. So
cool.
The video is on YouTube of me opening up the concert here in Columbia, South Carolina at the Township Auditorium for T.I. and Tamar Braxton.
And
yeah, it's on YouTube.
And with that being said, where exactly can people go to find the performance?
They can type in my name, Panessia Young, Young, and put in live concert for T.I. Tamar Braxton. They'll see me dressed in red.
Okay.
And it's Township Auditorium. Make sure you put the Township Auditorium in there in Columbia, South Carolina. So
cool.
It's on YouTube, but yeah.
Cool. Now, coming from South Carolina, Columbia to be exact, a lot of people, when it comes to South Carolina, not too many people really listen for, South Carolina-based artists, or a lot of people are not really aware that there is a music scene that is alive and vibrant in Columbia, South Carolina. So with that being said, how would you describe the current state of the music industry within your hometown?
I'll say that there's a lot of great artists here that put in the work, and I feel it's opportunities. The music scene, it's great. I just feel like it could be better, like with a little more like organization, like better being organized better, you know. But it's some, I mean, serious, beautiful talent here. I mean, great talent here, fiery talent here. You know, it's just, I feel like it should be more of a unity thing where, you know, I understand that, you know, it's so many people that's wanting to get into the business, but they also needing to know that it's not just about getting up and singing on the microphone. You also need to promote as well. Promotions is very important in learning the business of, you know, education-wise of what you're supposed to do after you make a song, not putting a song out there without it being copywritten, you know, all kind of great business ventures, you know, and that's something that we have called Solar Sunday that's coming up this Sunday where people can come and network. So the networking, I feel the music scene is great here, but I feel like the networking could be a lot better as an improvement, you know, here in Columbia, South Carolina.
Now, with that being said, like, do you often find yourself having to go outside of your hometown to be able to network in the way that you would like to? I see that, you know, it was a few years ago you traveled out to LA to audition for The Voice, and I know, like you were just mentioning, like, you know, the networking could be a little bit better. So do you find yourself often going outside of Columbia to, you know, network and advance your career? Or with the technology that we have now, where everything being digital and everybody having so much access via social media and other outlets, is it a little bit easier for you now where you can do your networking with other people in other cities and regions compared to what it was, you know, maybe a few years ago when you actually really had to get out here and travel around to meet people and introduce people and be in the places where people are?
Yes, I feel it's a lot more advanced now, with being able to network online with some artists and some people who write. There's some people that don't sing that, you know, they looking for somebody to write for. So that's another way of, you know, finding somebody that I could network with as well. And yes, earlier, to answer your question, yes, back in like 2012, when I went to audition for The Voice, that was an opportunity that I was offered to, you know, try out for the audition. And it was a great experience. When I went to Los Angeles, California, no, I didn't get picked, but it was still a great opportunity to leave my state and go to a whole nother state, and then, you know, hear people say that they did love my singing. So, you know, that was a great opportunity as well. But, you know, I also went to Orlando, Florida, also went to Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama, and performed. So it's like I'm still moving around. You see what I'm saying? Even though it's opportunities online to network, I'm still willing to, you know, step out of my state and do some performing as well. Of course, I went to Atlanta, Georgia, Decatur, Georgia. I've been really moving around, and I feel good about that, because the more you move around and you don't just limit yourself to one area, you get known like that. You get known like that even more, you know, along with getting online and posting your videos, your singing videos, because I have singing videos that I've done too, not being in the studio, just straight raw vocals.
Now, with that being said, how would you feel as though that experience of going and auditioning for The Voice and being able to network, how would you say that experience helped you with your career and everything that came afterward?
It helped me open up more to being like, I could work with somebody who's wanting someone on a pop song. It just helped me be more versatile and being able to, communicate more, like, because some people be kind of shy to communicate with people in this business, but when you're getting out here, you're going to meet people. So you have to learn also some business etiquette also along with it, with communication as well. And it helped me open up more to, like, I would like to collaborate. Yes, we can collaborate, or, just basically just showing that, yes, this is for me, because if it wasn't for me, I would have stopped a long time ago. But it just helped me, just get to know and get heard from different people, different audiences, of hearing my voice,
Now, being that, you've been in the music industry for a very long time, and one of my favorite things to talk about here on this platform is indeed the music industry, the music business, and, everything that's going on right now within this space. What is your favorite and what is your least favorite moments that you have had so far along your journey?
Okay, well, my favorite moments, I'm gonna start with that one, being in this music industry and journey. I love the traveling. That's what I love. I love the traveling, and I love the live performing. I love that. My least thing that I, really don't care too much for, I don't like when things are not organized, when it's time to perform. I don't like when the sound is not what it should be. And it happens sometimes, I don't know, it's just certain people just don't care about sound, and I feel like sound checks are very important, when you're when you're having artists put on shows. I feel like sound is everything, because especially when you're performing your live lead vocals and you not singing over your tracks, because your lyrics, I didn't mean to say tracks, I meant to say singing over your lyrics. I like to sing raw vocals, like, so that's what my thing is. Have your sound right. Have a decent microphone for me. So it's like that sometimes, but it doesn't discourage me to the point where I say I want to stop, because some people, they'll let things discourage them and they want to stop. But no, it's going to be some obstacles. You just can't let those obstacles stop you from your goals, because it's a lot of successful artists out here. They didn't have it easy. They didn't have it easy all the time, so, like they say, no pain, no gain,
I can totally agree with you when it comes to the sound, because I am a stickler, especially being that, I produce a radio show. I am a real stickler when it comes to sound. Like, I will sit here to be honest with you, for some transparency before you called in, I was here for like maybe 3 hours just trying to make sure the sound was just right. Going from rearranging things to reconnecting cables and all that stuff. So I definitely do agree with you when it comes down to it, that your sound has to be on point, because if you can have video, you can have some of the worst quality when it comes to having a video, but people are going to really focus more on the sound. And if people can't really hear, or the sound just sounds terrible, they're not going to listen. So I definitely agree with you when it comes to that with the sound.
I got one more thing I need to say that I forgot to say, but it's so important, artists, for you to have your flash drives, like, with your music on your flash drives. That is so important, because you never know if you email that DJ and the DJ might not, have access to, like being able to download the music, so it's so important to keep that flash drive, with you at all times.
I absolutely agree with that one too, because there's been plenty of times when I've seen acts not have their music ready, and then next thing you know, it now it's a whole chaotic situation, because now you're scrambling trying to find something, anything to help you with your situation. So I agree with that one. Always make sure you keep a thumb drive or a external hard drive ready, so that way you can just, if the music is not good on the DJs, then you can just slip on that, and then there you go. You don't have to really lose a beat or anything.
Right. So I just said that was one of the helpful things that I wanted to, pass along to, up and coming artists, out here.
And with that being said, you mentioned earlier that you're now on your third album, and I have your new single here called Chance, if I'm not mistaken. Chance, is that right?
It's called Change.
Change. Okay, Change. My fault for that one. You have your new single out right now. So what has been the response that you have been getting from people that have had the opportunity to check out this new song?
I've gotten a lot of responses like, wow, this is, the type of music that we need more of. It was inspired by, so many things that's happening in this world now, that there's so many people that's hurting out here, that, going through real life situations. Everybody got different things that they're dealing with in their life. And I say, I wanted to do something different because there's so many people singing about the same thing. So I say, let me step out the box and bring something that, people can really relate to. Some people is struggling. Some people don't have a place to stay. Some people is struggling to eat every day. There's people out here who have lost kids to gun violence. It's so many different, things that's going on in this world that's, being brushed off, that really needs attention right now. And so I say, that was the inspiration for the song called Change.
And that's something that is well needed right now, is not only change, but just good, wholesome, uplifting music. Because as you said, especially since 2020, a lot of us, our world got turned upside down, and a lot of us are still struggling to get back to where we was pre-pandemic. So a lot of us is out there struggling right now, and a lot of situations that we have going on in the world is not helping anything, as we continue to navigate through these troublesome times. So a lot of it, when people find themselves in these situations where they're going through a lot of difficult time, a lot of people tend to turn to music. And when you got a lot of garbage music out there, it doesn't help nobody. So when you have songs like this song Change that you're about to that's out right now and we'll be getting into later, when you have songs like this, you give people something that they can gravitate to. It helps people to realize and understand that there is still hope. Even though the situation may seem hopeless, there's still hope. How do you feel when you can connect with people like that through your music, that they come back and tell you that, your song really touched me?
That just made my heart smile. It just made me feel like I'm not doing this music grind for nothing. It just made me feel so great. Like, wow, they really love my music, and it did something to them in a positive way. And that's what, I like to pass on, positive encouragement, and that's what I did with this song right here. I just had to write from the heart.
And with that being said, with 2024, now we're just in the second half of this year, and we're going forward now. What can people expect from you for the rest of this year and beyond?
Well, they could definitely expect some collaborations, some more live performances, a lot of live performances. That's a definite right there. And I'm even looking forward to doing a live concert, and the proceeds will go to helping feed the homeless.
That's cool. That's cool. And you mentioned earlier that you like performing. That's one of your favorite parts of being involved in the music industry. So like, where's like the top 5 venues you would love to perform, or the top 5 cities that you would love to perform in?
Well, I've never been to New York, so I would love to perform somewhere in New York. I'll have to get myself a GPS map to see what places I can go to. And I love Atlanta because they show me a lot of love there when I go to Atlanta. I perform in some places in Atlanta. I want to go back to Birmingham, Alabama. I loved it out there. And of course, I would go to, where I really want to go to? Also, I want to go to somewhere like London. London, England. I want to go somewhere to a European country, because I know they love a lot of great music too. So that would be a great experience. Haven't been there yet, but would love to work on that.
How about
not to knock my own state. I love it here, my own state. But I want to go and, I want to do a live concert here in some different places, because that's what I want to do. I want to spread it around, do concert here in my own state and then spread it around to some other states,
Right. And, another question I was going to ask you real quick before we get ready to wrap up. What about Germany? I understand that you grew up in Germany as well. You spent some time there. So would that be a place that you would like to go back to and do a performance for?
Most definitely. I was singing in Germany when I was little. My mom, I was in elementary school. I was in like 3rd grade, and my mom, she had entered me into some talent shows. I also won some trophies when I was there. I won a trophy and a medal, 1st place.
Nice.
So I would love to go back there. We were in Hamburg, Germany, but we went to Vilsack, Germany to, when I had did the singing, we went to Vilsack, Germany, and it was such a great experience. I would love to go back.
I would love to visit a place like Germany too, because I've never had the opportunity to travel outside of the United States, let alone even leaving the East Coast. So like a place like Germany, another place you named, London, something like that, I would love to go experience those places too. Do you feel like the love is a lot different when it comes to more so the international audience or more so the homegrown United States based audience?
I kind of feel like they're more excited, the international audience, because I've seen how people, big artists like Nicki Minaj and other big artists have performed like in, I think it was in like Paris or somewhere, and I know I saw how excited they were screaming and, like really into it, and that's something that really gets to me when it's like, it just makes you just want to keep on going. When you see that the audience is feeling what you're doing, it's just, that's a big, big compliment, so yeah.
Absolutely. And one more question I want to ask you in closing before we get ready to wrap everything up. Where do you want to be at within the next 5 years when it comes to your music career?
I would love to be also doing some vocal coaching, you know, helping some up and coming artists. But I do want to hit the BET stage first. I want to hit that BET stage. Yes, that's where I want to go.
That's what's up. Well, Panessia, I definitely want to say thank you for taking the time out once again to join us here on this platform. We was able to get through this interview without the electricity going out. I better not speak too soon because, you know, it's still storming outside. And, you know, I'm glad that we was able to get the majority of this interview done. So I do appreciate your time. I do thank you for coming on to the show. And before we get ready to close out, do you have anything you want to say in closing to the audience out there, or for people that want to reach out to you, that want to find your music and also possibly may want to, you know, invite you to their platform or book you for any shows? How could they do that?
Well, first and foremost, they can reach me either on Facebook, Panessia Young, Panessa, Young, Young, China Doll _1 on IG. I would love to collaborate with some other artists. That would be great. Some new artists. I have collaborated with some artists here, but I would love to, you know, collaborate with some new artists as well. They also can look me up on, you know, Facebook. They can look me up on YouTube. They can find me there, you know, like, I'm on the internet. They can Google me. They can actually Google my name. and they can find me, yes. So I'm all for, you know, working on a new project. And I want to say thank you so much for having me on your show, you know, in spite of what's going on with the storm, whatever, everything worked out. So I'm happy about that. So, looking forward to, if anybody wants to work with me, that would be great. They could look me up, listen to my music, check my music out, see if they, you know, what they like, you know, about my voice.
Absolutely. And to everybody else out there, once again, we want to say thank you, Panessia. And I want to invite everybody to stay tuned, because coming up next, we're going to get into the brand new single from Panessia Young, His Change. Up next here on the Nonstop Radio Show. It's your boy EMillio, EgBar. You already know. Keep it live. Want to be heard on the Nonstop Radio Show? Send us your submissions in MP3 format at Let's Network Musically 212@gmail.com.
This is Nonstop Radio.